and without giving up. Because, you know, when you're in auto mode, it's like we are just, someone says it's like you're just pushing yourself one day to the next, but there's no excitement, there's no hope, there's nothing that's really propelling you to do anything better. Mm-hmm. So we are looking at saying, okay, that's where we are as businesses, and that's the time where things just become hard. But we are there to hold each other up, to propel each other, to rekindle the fire by coming together to meet and share a few strategies.
That's incredible. Coming together and, you know, rekindle the fire. That is what he said. He said we are halfway through the year. Towards the end of the year, we have to have that fire back so that our businesses can, you know, become successful. How is the summit addressing the current climate, you know, economic climate in this country?
The summit is bringing together a different group of people, business leaders, professionals, and particularly those that have walked this journey into entrepreneurship. They've faced their own failures, they've picked themselves up. So we are bringing people that have actually gone through these processes, and they are telling their stories, so that sometimes when you fall down, you think, that's the end of my business. But we want to hear from those that have fallen and pick themselves up, and they're also going to share handles, they're going to share strategies, they're going to share just motivation for entrepreneurs as to how to stay on course even when things are difficult, how to stay on course even when economic challenges come. They will come, but as entrepreneurs, we need to step up, we need to continue running and reignite, revive our businesses.
That's incredible. We'll get to the nitty-gritties of the messages that are going to be shared during the summit. But coming to you, as I was introducing the topic, we're talking about reviving their businesses without compromising faith. How do we merge the two?
From my perspective, we are people, but we are also spiritual. And I'm a Christian. And from that perspective, God has given us a standard or an operating manual. I've been given all I need for life and godliness. That means I can, even if I'm in business, I can look to the Bible and see how to run my business without falling into the trap of compromise, of cutting corners and all that. Because we need to run the race according to the high call. There's a high call, there's a high standard, and that standard reflects the standard of our Creator. Because when He does everything, He says, He did everything He did and said, it is good. So for starters, I as an entrepreneur, whatever I do should be done in excellence. Secondly, it should be ethical. There is no way I should, as a child of God, be seen to be doing anything that is unethical. Thirdly, we are people who have hope. Like in the current economic climate, we lose hope. We are getting into places where is it worth it? But if you know who has put you in that place and what He wants to achieve through you, you don't look at your surroundings, you look at Him who's called you. So as people of faith, we are saying, we don't look around and cry with everyone else. We look up and say, God, where are you taking us?
That's incredible. Now, this reminds me of the conversation I had last week with entrepreneurs. They came there to encourage young people who are into businesses from the Christian perspective. He shared the very same sentiments, saying, you can still do the same thing. But young people were like, but we are confronted with a lot of challenges in front of us. Should we neglect faith? And because business is business, we do business. And there's a lot of corruption. In the midst of that, how do we become successful? As the Bible says, we are supposed to be heads than tails. How do we, navigate these challenges still with faith?
Yeah, I think, as Pauline has pointed out, that we have a manual, which is the Bible. And the marketplace, yes, there are challenges, but integrity will take you a longer way. Shortcuts or corruption may seem as a solution today or as a solution for this season, but is that a long-term solution? Certainly not. So I believe that the Bible is the manual for even the marketplace. There are strategies in the Bible, integrity, ethnical ways of ethics, in terms of doing business, and also just following strategies that were used by Christians that were in business during that time. We know the disciples, they were fishermen, and so on. So there's a concept of business even within the Bible.
Right. He's still riding on the same line that she just finished with. I had a guest here the other day from Apostolic Faith Mission talking about the responsibility that churches have, not only to preach and to give a spiritual, enlightenment, but also they've got the responsibility to uplift life, especially when we're talking about entrepreneurship. What can you say to such denominations, maybe those who believe, entrepreneurship is not part of the gospel?
I think if you are a Christian or a child of God, it would be folly to think you live separate lives. Because wherever we are the light of the world. It doesn't matter whether I'm in the clinic as a physiotherapist, I am on stage as a speaker, I am representing Christ, I am representing God. So everything I do is according to his word and according to his ways. And also, it's not for my glory, it's for the glory of God. So we are all called into different spaces. And if God has called you into business, he makes a way. Who he calls, he equips. When going back to the disciples, when they heard Peter speak, the people were amazed and says, this is an unschooled person. How are they speaking like this? Why? Because God put them there and they equipped them. I'm not a speaker. I'm not a business person. I'm a physiotherapist. But God has just made me, sometimes I even wonder at myself. I never imagined I'd be speaking before people. I never imagined I would be running a business. I thought it was for other people. But God has called me into the marketplace, and I answer and follow. That is my mandate. And when I follow God, it's not by shortcut, it's always by what are you saying in this season. And even when we came up with Empower Success Solutions, it was God saying, yes, like you're saying, we need children of God equipped. They live a life well below what God has said about them. Why? Because we actually don't believe our lives should live up to what the Bible says.
All right. We'll get into that as we continue with the conversation. Let's get to the challenges that, businesses are facing in this country.
Yes, some of the challenges that the businesses are facing, I would say there's lack of mentorship, just lack of guidance. Somebody to hold your hand, somebody who has walked the journey. So we are going to address that area in terms of mentorship, and also just create a network of business people where they can occasionally get together, or even without getting together physically, where we continue sharing strategies, sharing ideas, and just pointing, encouraging each other to keep pushing, to keep going, to revive our businesses, and all that being done through the word, through the word.
That's incredible. Now, still with the same thing, what specific economic or business challenges facing Botswana entrepreneurs that will be addressed during the summit?
Okay, we all start businesses, and I'm sure we want to come to a certain level. But some of us remain at almost side hustles. We have someone who is actually going to give us handles on how to scale your business. You don't want to stay in that small place that you've always been. Think bigger. Take steps towards becoming a bigger enterprise. Because honestly, with time, you can be shrunken out of business if you're not thriving. The other thing we'll look at is how leaders can develop themselves, because you cannot grow beyond your capacity. So that is actually one important aspect of Ignite, that we want the person themselves to grow before they can grow their surroundings. You can only grow your surroundings to the extent to which you have grown. So if you haven't grown, no matter how much you desire to grow, you will only grow as far as you can contain. So we are actually also equipping leaders with self-care, self-development strategies. We are equipping them with even things like systems thinking, marketing skills. It's a holistic kind of thing that we are saying you need all these as an entrepreneur for you to then step out confidently and walk in what you're doing.
That's incredible. Now, let's get to the day. What is it happening during the day? Maybe you can share with the speakers that will be there. I'm here, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a believer also. I want to come to the summit. What is it that I'm going to get from the day? And just take us through the events that will happen during the day.
So the day will be filled with presentations where we'll have these entrepreneurs that they are local. So what they'll be speaking on is relatable. So I think that's one major advantage, is that we are speaking to people, or we have people that have that are business people that are speaking to us. So we'll have that, and then we'll also have a panel discussion. Yes, so that will allow us to also just ask questions, have interactive sessions where entrepreneurs can, really hold hands with the upcoming, holding hands with the seniors, so to speak.
All right.
Yes.
Most definitely, you wanted to say something maybe?
Yes, on top of that, we also have stalls, which means you can come and showcase what you do. And we have 5-minute slots in between speakers, so that you can market your organization, market what you're doing, because we want to improve businesses holistically, so that when you come out of Ignite, you have a customer, you have a mentor, you have a partner, so that we are working together towards growth.
All right. Now, still with you, in what ways will this summit, help business prevent failure and collapse during these uncertain times? We're talking about Pula being depreciated. We're talking about the tariffs that the U.S. is imposing on other countries. We're talking about our exports not going out as it was supposed to be. The economy is very uncertain. How do we keep consistency despite all these challenges?
What happens is, if you are sitting at home or at work alone, the problem is big, very big. But once you get into a room where you realize, no, actually, there's someone who's thriving next to me. What are they doing differently? Like I said, you can get a customer, you can get a business partner, you can get a mentor in all that. And that changes the landscape of business, besides just our economic environment. So being in that room is more valuable in the interactions that will come out and in the handles that you will also get.
All right. But who are supposed to be coming to this summit?
We are calling on business leaders, we are calling on professionals, we are calling on entrepreneurs, we are also calling on those that are sitting on the fence, they're deciding, I want to go into business, can I do it, can I not do it? We are also calling on those. Heads of departments. So anybody, all those that are into decision making are all invited.
Right. Yes. How do we ensure that the strategies shared during this summit are aligned and practically effective at the end of the day? Because I believe at the end of the day, there's a hope or the objective of this summit. We want to achieve this at the end of the day. But how do we do follow-ups? How do we check? Because I believe it's not a one-day event. We'll get to that one. But I want you to answer this one. We'll get to her.
Yes, it certainly is not a one-day event. Like I said, we are forming a network of business people. We are forming a network of entrepreneurs, a network of professionals. So beyond the summit, we will continue connecting, we will continue sharing, we will continue even having virtual meetings. We'll even continue having other smaller workshops to address other problems within the business sector.
All right. You're saying about the follow-ups that's going to be coming after this one, because she say it's not a one-day event, it's something that's going to be continuous. What are you how are you hoping to make this bigger, or not even come once or maybe twice a year, and the follow-ups of those entrepreneurs will be there and share their stories?
For starters, we as Empower Success Solution, we want to empower businesses We want to empower individuals. So after Ignite, there are other programs we can get onto. The people who are coming to present, some of them do mentoring, they do coaching, they do a lot of other stuff. You can actually enroll on that with those people. We also do mentorship programs. We also do trainings for businesses and their staff. So in that regard, it's actually a step into a long-term relationship. Depending on how far you want to go, we can actually walk together in the different aspects.
All right. The very same sentiment that I'm carrying from throughout this conversation is working together. Why is it important for businesses not to be in silos or working in isolation? Why is it important to come together in doing business? Because some believe it's my own thing, I do my own thing, I understand my own journey. Why is it important for entrepreneurs to work with one another and network?
Yeah, I think Pauline mentioned one of the advantages. You have other people to support you, even just in terms of ideas. You are stuck, or sometimes you are looking for certain expertise or a certain skill. You don't know where to begin. But if I know somebody who's in business, I can just go and say, hey, I'm looking for somebody who can help me with my accounts. So that is one major advantage of businesses working together. And then there's also opportunities for collaboration. Yeah, you can get to a stage where you are working with another business on a certain project where you combine efforts. So there's also that as well. And then there's networking. I think there's just great opportunities when people come together. We can also lobby government for policies to support businesses when you have one united voice.
All right, one united voice. We are wrapping up the conversation. He's talking about government, lobbying government and maybe the private sector to come on board. What's their responsibility, especially to your entrepreneurs who would be attending this? What is it that you're expecting from the private sector and from the government?
From the private sector, it's to take advantage of opportunities like these. Why? Because we cannot grow, like I said, without feeding on something. So the summit, it gives us an opportunity to learn, to reskill, to upskill. Sometimes you are sitting there and you are hearing design thinking. I heard that for the first time in Ignite last year. I didn't know there was such a concept. And when you start implementing those things in your business, it grows your business, it grows you. You are even able to teach the next person and say, you know what, let's go back to your business. Are you applying design thinking, But when you are in your own office, that doesn't happen. And some of us are from years back, well before computers. So some things have come and taken over and we are left behind. So when events like this come, it's a chance for us to step on board and be different people. We also have we have invited the Minister of Entrepreneurship. Last year they were there with us, and they are with us because they want entrepreneurs to grow. Because the economy can't grow when entrepreneurs are not growing. So they are open to having us do these things and equip one another to grow Botswana.
We are wrapping up. Maybe your last word as we wrap up the conversation.
Yes, I would like to encourage business leaders, entrepreneurs, heads of department not to miss Ignite Kingdom Business Summit 2025. You will not regret it. You will not regret it.
Your last words as we wrap up also.
I'd like to say lives are being transformed. And at Ignite 2025, that's the place to be for a different you, a different business, and a different way forward.
Right. And that is how we come to the end of this conversation, ladies. Thank you so much for such insights. I believe entrepreneurs were listening to this conversation and they're going to be part of this upcoming summit. Thank you so much. All right. And that is how we come to the end of this conversation. Remember, I had in studio with me Ms. Pauline Mashatini and Ms. Janet Kahari to discuss how the summit that is upcoming is going to address current challenges businesses are facing and how it will help prevent business failure and collapse in this country. I'm coming right back with the 7 o'clock news. Stay with us.